Hey, Racket Warriors. So today I have a different video for you guys. I wanted to share my day at Indian Wells with you guys. If you guys have never been, I went with my longest childhood friend Dawn to this year's 2023 tournament, Indian Wells, also known as the unofficial fifth Grand Slam, also known as Tennis Paradise. So it's always a fun experience here because you get to see the pros practice, pretty up close. You get to walk around, watch different matches throughout the day, and there's a lot of activities like the demo courts at Tennis Warehouse. So a lot of great matches today. This was, around the round of 32. So a lot of high-level players. So hope you enjoy some of these matches that I recorded. So the first match we saw was Hubi Hurkacz versus Tommy Paul. Tommy Paul, being the American, was the crowd favorite. As you can see here, he's serving out for the match. And it was a really great match. We were on court 2, so we were sitting up on top. And the next match was going to be Wawrinka. So Don and I really wanted to see him play in person. So you can tell a lot of people did too. So this match was interesting. So there was some drama between Rune and Wawrinka in their last match. Rune beat Wawrinka, and when they went to go shake each other's hand at the end of the match, Wawrinka told Rune not to act like a baby. So it was pretty funny throughout the match. There was an audience member that kept saying like, "Oh, feed the baby" or something like that. But it was pretty funny. So yeah, this match had some spiciness to it. Yeah, another thing I noticed that was interesting was how far back Wawrinka stood from the baseline on his returns. But yeah, it was very effective. I guess he could swing out, and yeah, and I know Medvedev even stands even further back. So very interesting. This was the first year I came to the tournament on a weekday. Last year I went on a Saturday and it was jam packed. The matches that you wanted to watch, you couldn't even get a seat. So I would highly recommend going on a weekday or the Monday right after the first weekend. Before this match, Don and I visited the Tennis Warehouse tent. I went to go see my old supervisor, Troy. If you guys know Tennis Warehouse, he's a play tester there. I used to work for Tennis Warehouse part-time in college, and Troy used to be my supervisor. So it's always nice to see him when I come visit the tournament. Unfortunately, this year, the demo courts were a little bit different this year. It's, I guess, half sponsored by Universal Tennis. And this day didn't have the demo courts open because they had a junior tournament going on at the same time. So didn't get to demo some rackets, but hopefully I can next year. Yeah, and I would definitely recommend visiting the demo courts because sometimes they give gifts and prizes. So and it's also a nice change of pace. You're sitting down most of the time, so it's after watching these pros, it's kind of fun to hit some balls, right? I would say one of the downsides of going later into the tournament is that there are less players, left. So you don't really get to see many players practice. And that's one of the unique things about this tournament. So unfortunately, we didn't really get to go visit the practice courts. Yeah, so maybe next year I will go on the Friday before the first weekend.
Get out of here.
The return. Oh.
Yes.
After the second set between Rune and Wawrinka, Don and I left because it was getting too hot and we were getting hungry. We got some chicken strips from, I think it was from Mamafuku's restaurant. And we got to watch the last part of Raducanu's match. And as you can tell, her matches are usually pretty popular to watch. She was mainly the crowd's favorite. So it was nice to kind of see her play in person. Ons is another favorite WTA player of mine. She has a very unique game style where she hits like these incredible drop shots. She hits tweeners, and she just seems like a very genuine and nice and funny person. So I was very disappointed when she lost her match.
And also from Great Britain, please welcome Andy Murray.
So Don and I were actually supposed to leave after the Raducanu's match, but I got special permission from my wife to stay, and I couldn't miss Andy Murray's match. Since I've started tennis, I've always looked up to Federer as, my GOAT. But I think recently watching Andy Murray play, especially this year, the passion and like the fighting spirit that he shows in every match. It's just I think it's very inspirational, and his defense is amazing. I think his anticipation of the balls. I never really watched him back then, but I really do, and I can see why a lot of people respect his game, and I guess it's mostly his fighting spirit. Another thing to note is that if you get the day ground pass and you decide to leave to the parking lot sometime after 4, make sure you get a return wristband from one of those booths because they won't let you back in. I was also excited to see this match too because I know Jack Draper is a up and coming player. Right? He's very tall, hits hard on both wings. So I knew this was going to be a battle, and it's also like Battle of the Brits. So it's kind of nice to see this type of match. It's kind of like passing on the baton, right, from one Brit to another. So.